Palm Beach County began in 1909 when the county was formed from the northern part of Dade County. Although most are familiar with the men who helped tame the jungle and swamp that was early Palm Beach County, few know the stories of the women who also played vital roles in the county's history. They were artists, businesswomen, educators, medical professionals, writers, and politicians. This film features just a few of these women, the Trailblazers, whose contributions still resonate. Millie Gildersleeve was among the first African Americans to live in the 2B, Palm Beach County. In the 1880s and 1890s, she served as midwife for the area's first doctor, Dr. Richard Potter. Dr. Potter would pick up Millie from her wharf, and together they delivered the area's first babies. Millie later worked as a private nurse. Together with husband Jake Gildersleeve, they were instrumental in founding Evergreen Cemetery, where both Millie and Jake rest. Bird Spillman Dewey was a well-known author of animal stories in the early part of the 20th century. She wrote the 1899 bestseller Bruno and was South Florida's first newspaper columnist with her home advice column, The Sitting Room. Together with husband Fred Dewey, the Deweys founded the town of Boynton in 1897. A seamstress by trade, Ada Saunders was an astute land investor buying large portions of downtown West Palm Beach. By 1920, she was a millionaire living in a large house adjacent to today's St. Mary's Hospital. Ada donated the land where St. Mary's Hospital now sits. Agnes Ballard was a woman of many firsts in Florida and Palm Beach County. Ballard was trained as a teacher and came to West Palm Beach in 1906. She subsequently studied architecture in Wisconsin with Frank Lloyd Wright and returned to West Palm Beach and became Florida's first woman registered architect. In 1920, as women gained the right to vote, Ballard and colleague Clara Stipman became the first women elected to office in Palm Beach County, Agnes as the superintendent of public instruction and Stipman as school board member. Augusta Savage came to West Palm Beach as a young girl from Green Cove Springs near Jacksonville. Her talent as a sculptor became evident early on, and Mayor George Graham Curry featured her works at the 1921 County Fair. Curry helped her study in New York at the Cooper Union, and the Rosenwald Fund paid for her tuition and board to study in Paris. Augusta opened her own art school in New York and was a key figure in the Harlem Renaissance. In 1939, the New York World's Fair commissioned Augusta to a large sculpture. Her piece, entitled The Harp, was inspired by the song Lift Every Voice and Sing. Her works are featured in museums worldwide. Aviation was sweeping the nation in the 1920s and 30s, and Grace Morrison was one of its biggest promoters in Palm Beach County. Morrison was a key founder in the Palm Beach Aero Club and lobbied to have land designated for the area's first airport. A car accident cut her life short, so the county commission named the new airport in her honor as Morrison Field. Today, the airport is known as Palm Beach International Airport. Dr. Alice Mickens and husband, the Reverend Haley Mickens, were champions of civil rights for decades. The Mickens hosted dignitaries such as Louis Armstrong and Nobel Prize winner Ralph Bunche in their historic West Palm Beach home. Out of a horrible tragedy, a lasting legacy was created. In 1962, 2 of Gloria Drummond's children were poisoned by a deranged neighbor in their home in Boca Raton. The children were rushed to the nearest hospital at that time in Boynton Beach, but the lengthy travel time did not allow the children to be saved. Gloria dedicated her life to making sure Boca Raton would have its own hospital, which today is the Boca Raton Regional Hospital. Eva Mack and Ruby Bullock were the first African Americans elected to the West Palm Beach City Commission in 1978. Mack, an educator and nurse, and Bullock, a college professor of mathematics, served on the City Commission. Eva went on to become the first African American mayor of West Palm Beach. Vera Farrington has been a key person in the cultural renaissance of Delray Beach. Farrington grew up in Delray Beach and taught school for over 30 years. She is a community leader, having founded the Expanding and Preserving Our Cultural Heritage organization, which then founded the Spady Cultural Heritage Museum. Farrington has worked tirelessly to preserve and promote African American history in Delray Beach. In 1992, Caridad Asensio saw a need for migrant workers to have access to free health care. She founded the Caridad Health Clinic in a trailer with volunteer doctors and nurses. Today, the clinic is Florida's largest free clinic, and fundraising of more than $1 million funded the modern facility that serves the neediest of patients. A nurse by training, Helen Wilkes came to the Palm Beach County area in the 1950s and saw the need for elder care in Palm Beach County. She founded a small nursing home and grew that into a healthcare and real estate empire. She remodeled the 1920s Pennsylvania Hotel, and it became the Helen Wilkes Residence Hotel. She was elected as West Palm Beach first woman mayor in 1978. Maud Ford Lee was the first African American to serve on the Palm Beach County Commission. She was elected in 1990 and served a decade on the commission. Lee came to Palm Beach County in the 1960s, where with husband Percy Lee, they championed civil rights and equality, causes still forefront in her work. These women are but a few of the many that have blazed trails and overcome barriers to be leaders and role models. The young women of today can look to these leaders for the strength and inspiration to excel, lead, and make a difference.